guys.
Hey, good.
We have been waiting
Told you
for
I was
you.
gonna do it. We have been waiting for you.
Good evening and welcome to Halloween Special After Hours with Sammy and Crystal.
Yeah. I told her I was gonna do it. I told her, and I didn't anticipate being that excited, and so I just did it.
I was expecting later in the video, just randomly.
It may happen again.
Okay. So, we are here today because it's Halloween month. Yes.
Yes, month. You heard us correct. Month.
So, we were recording this to let you guys know about some of the things that you can read. Hold on, I'm talking in future past tense, and it's like, what's that? I don't know how to talk about when we're doing this.
We are recording this just because we want to give you guys the opportunity to enjoy a lot of the horror we have to offer. Yeah. We have all kinds of different kinds in the store, and so many of us get wrapped up in our superheroes and our indies. Me, I'm an indie person, which happen to be a lot of horror, so we'll get to that. But I think we just wanted to share with everybody a bunch of the titles that you could totally read this month to get into the spoopy mood.
Yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, Netflix has a new show, but I don't know the name of it. I forgot, but they have lots of new shows, and you could go watch those if you don't want to read.
Yeah, Haunting of Bly Manor.
That was the one that I was thinking
about. That's what we're thinking about. There's a lot of cool ones.
It's by the same people who did Haunting of Hill House.
Hill House, yeah. That's a pretty good one.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to watch it.
Probably I got into Halloween. It. It's pretty good. So I honestly think what we're doing here is we just kind of want to go through a bunch of the different types of horror and the different books we love. And we're at my house, so we get to like hang out and enjoy the creepy lighting and do spooky stuff like push buttons.
I'd turn back if I were you.
I can't. I have to. I'm gonna do it again. Okay. But yeah, if you want to start.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull out the first one and only one that I've read. I'm really behind, guys. I'm real behind on.
You guys are gonna get a lot of me
existence. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Sammy explaining books to me that she ends up making me be like, man, I should really read that. It sounds really good.
She right.
But this one I have read. Sammy let me borrow it, so I got to read it. But we can, I think, unless it went on back order, we can have this in the store. But it's called Snow Glass Apples by Neil Gaiman. So he doesn't do the art. He gets artists. But the story is by him. And this is a retelling of Snow White. But it's a retelling of Snow White from the Queen's point of view. And it's very horror.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
So I don't know how to tell you what to tell you without spoiling the entire thing, because I suck at that. But basically, Snow White is evil.
I mean, if you're the queen, that's what you think. It's fine. That's what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
But amazing art, very Art Nouveau. You can see the cover. It almost looks like a tarot card. Very Art Nouveau. It's Neil Gaiman, so you can't go wrong. It's like Stardust and the Sandman, and it's very just beautiful and whimsical, but also very creepy.
Yes.
Super creepy. I love it.
So just as a quick this little snippet on the back is pretty small. So a not-so-evil queen is terrified of her monstrous stepdaughter and determined to repel this creature and save her kingdom from a world where happy endings aren't so happily ever after. Which...
I almost ripped the candle.
Don't do that. You may die.
I will die.
But yeah, if you like horror, then you're definitely gonna like this. If you're looking for a happily ever after, this is not the book for you. Do not read this one.
And it's from Dark Horse Comics, so it's pretty good. I feel like Dark Horse always had some really good titles and stuff. We're gonna probably start like a weird stack. Yeah. It's just gonna accumulate.
Yeah. So
you'll see it. Yeah,
they can still kind of see it right there, but we'll fill in all this space.
So, do we want to like do the trades first and then go into some of the ongoing comics? Do we want to do that?
Let's do that.
Cool.
Okay. This one, I'm going to say what it's called because that's probably all I'm going to get to say.
Sure.
So, this one is Viktorlavelles Destroyer.
It's awesome. So this book is a very kind of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein type feel. This book is a single trade. It's a one-off kind of trade. It is about this woman who is a descendant of Dr. Frankenstein who has a son who is killed by police, and then she goes about the whole Frankenstein way of reanimating corpse to carry on or get justice. I'm not going to tell you. It's great. I have a lot of people who have read this and gone through it in like an hour because it's so fast-paced and it's so good. But if you like that old-time kind of Frankenstein feel with new age kind of things going on, I say you should definitely check this out. I love this book. When I first saw it starting at the PX like a long time ago, I was just like, I'm getting it. And then I made like 6 people buy it.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, the quarantine has really got me messed up because you started in October last year, and then, or August last year, whatever.
It was August.
But then there was like the 1 or 2 months of quarantine, and so it's thrown off my entire sense of how long anyone's been working at Rick's.
Yeah.
Like Amani, she only started at the end of February, so like...
And I had to take time off, like when the PX was closed.
Yeah.
And it was closed longer than the store was closed.
Yeah.
And then my kids and going back to school and everything. It was just
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I've been working for you guys over here.
I've just been doing videos.
You're like, it's fine. You guys get to see my face. It's cool. But yeah, this is a really good one. You should check it out. Let's see, what do we have next?
So...
Yay!
Next is Lady Mechanica. So I have not read Lady Mechanica, but I am very interested in reading it. The style is very steampunk, like very steampunk. Like I think that is literally, this book is the definition of steampunk.
Steampunk, Victorian mechanical awesomeness. Yeah, she is basically this really awesome BA lady who goes through life looking for other abominations and creatures that are similar to her. Because as a child, she was abducted. Teenager. She was abducted and they cut off all her arms and limbs and replaced them. And only so many people in the entire universe have the technology able to do that. So every time she finds a creature that's relatively similar to herself, she is like a monster hunter. But she doesn't do it to annihilate the monster. She does it to find out more about her past. Really awesome book we gave away for Free Comic Book Day last year for Halloween. Halloween Fest, Comic Book Fest.
I feel like there might have also been one this year for Free Comic Book Day, but we didn't get that many.
Might have been. But she had a Halloween kind of book. It was a Dia de los Muertos one. And she went to this Mexican town and she went through the Day of the Dead with them and like these people who were taking advantage. Crazy. It was good. But if you like the busty heroine of awesomeness, steampunk lady, I feel like Mercy, Lady Mechanica, Vampirella, like it's along that vein. If you're looking for pretty with your horror, I feel like that's where we're at.
Yeah. The art's very pretty, which makes me. That's one reason why I'm like, ooh.
Very cosplayable.
But like, what was she replaced with, like monster parts?
Well, it's like he has the ability to make like organic machinery. Okay. So it's very kind of like creepy and demony. It's very occult. There's a lot of occult in it too. It's really cool. I like it.
I just asked because at whatever page I turned to,
it was very
like monster arms. Yeah, I was like, that doesn't look like Cyborg.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of the organicness of our next book, which...
Again, we will have an entire thing about this.
This is going to get a whole video.
We're just not there yet.
Maybe a series. Who knows? Monstrous. You guys.
If you haven't read Monstrous, you should read Monstrous. The first few, it's definitely better if you're trying to read it to get the trade paperback. The first book is $10, and then we have our store discount, so the first book is $7.99 plus tax.
Why wouldn't you?
So you really need to get this and read it. It's beautiful. Sana Takeda's art is amazing. Major Lu's writing,
Marjorie.
That's correct.
Words.
Her writing is amazing. We've mentioned Monstrous many times because it's just amazing. The art in it is so awesome. So I'm gonna read the back of it to you because that's as far as we need to go with it. Otherwise, we'll stick on this book all day.
We will.
Set in an alternate world of art and deco beauty and steampunk horror, Monstrous tells the epic story of Mecha, that's what I'm calling her, half-wolf, a teenage survivor of a cataclysmic war between humans and their hated enemies, the Arcanics? Sorry, it's dark. I can't see.
We were going for atmosphere, and it just turns out to ruin our eyes.
In the face of oppression and terrible danger, Micah is both hunter and hunted, searching for answers about her mysterious past, as those who seek to use her remain just one step behind. And all the while, the monster within begins to awaken. So she's like, as her last name suggests, her last name is half-wolf. She is a wolf with a human form.
Yeah, there's a lot of different creatures, divisions, societies within this. You have witches, arcanics, these really knowledgeable cats.
So there's lots of words, so I'm trying not to show you the words. Just the fact that, like, people in this book
can be animals.
Yeah, they can be animals.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of these divisions, and they all came from these ancient beings, and it's very, very lore heavy. Like, you have a lot of background you learn, and they don't spoon feed it to you. Mm-hmm. You just get it as you go. It's stunning, so it doesn't feel like it's work. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, even though I said there's a lot of words, like, I don't like a lot of words, because I like to look at the pretty art and read it, but, you know.
There's enough pretty art to distract you from the fact that you're learning.
Yeah.
I can do this one.
Yeah, this one is all you, because I have not checked this one out at all.
Okay, so this trade just came out, actually, in the last, month and a half. This is a newer trade. This is a series that we are,
if you can't see it, it's called Black Stars Above.
Yes, Black Stars Above from Vault Comics. This is a very slow burn kind of horror. This is a very kind of cosmic horror. This young lady on the cover is half Inuit and half French. She had fur traders as her father, and she is existing in this hunter's lodge up in the north in the snow, very secluded.
You said young lady. Is it a young lady? I always imagine
she is a young lady. She's actually in her teens. I think she's in her late teens, early 20s. But she's living with her family because she's basically just going through the motions of, I'm going to be the next one who does the fur trading. I'm going to get married to so-and-so's son. And we just live out here in the forest. This is what we're doing. Until she gets offered the opportunity to make a bunch of money, which is enough to get her away from this place to deliver this package. And her journey through the wilderness in the white snow, and it's just very stark, and it's very it almost reminds me of The Telltale Heart with Edgar Allan Poe, and how you have this journey you're going on in your mind, but she's also experiencing a lot of things that not a lot of people would understand that's going on in her head, or maybe not, and it's in relation to this thing she must deliver. And that's all I'm going to say, because I will give more away. Yeah. But
that's saved for specific episodes of After Hours with Sammy and Crystal. This is just an overview.
Yay! Overview. Yes, we're trying to go faster.
Yeah. Just because there's so much here. We're just trying to let you know some awesome things and what they're about.
Yeah.
However, I will say, if you've ever played BitLife, which probably many people haven't, it's a phone game on your, you live out your life and then you can whatever. Anyway, sometimes it asks you, ooh, someone asked you to deliver a package. Would you like to take it? And they'll pay you some ungodly amount of money. And I've never said yes, because I'm like, that sounds real suspicious.
She said yes, super sus.
I'm like, that sounds like a good way to go to jail. I'm not taking no packages for no random people. Anyway, she apparently, so she said yes, and this is what happens when you say yes. Don't say yes to taking expensive packages for random people you don't know.
It's not trustworthy.
So next is Red Mother. We've already talked about Red Mother before. When
Yes.
it first started coming out as single issues, and
Yes.
probably also when it came out as a trade.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we touched base because this is an amazing series. Yeah.
So you get the gist of this one. It if you haven't watched our episodes, you don't. But it's about
Replacement eye.
a lady. Something happens. She gets a car accident.
She gets mugged.
Shot, she gets something.
She gets
happens.
mugged. The love of her life dies. She gets a replacement eye. That eye comes with the abilities to be able to see this otherworldly being. Not so great.
And that's literally what it's about.
Yeah.
That's the entire first issue.
Yeah,
Not
first issue.
trade, just the first issue.
Yeah, you're gonna dig it. It's very well drawn. It's very stylistic, and it's very kind of scary. You get to see the other covers in the back, but a few of the covers kind of horrific.
Yeah. So a quick little read of the back. The last thing Daisy sees before she blacks out is her boyfriend being dragged away into the darkness. I read that and I was like, her boyfriend just gets dragged away. Like,
Murked. Whole first thing. Just gone.
She wakes up in the hospital. She wakes up in the hospital after the attack and learns that her eye was so badly bandaged.
Wow, ma'am.
Badly damaged that it had to be removed. And
Yep.
so on and so forth. She starts seeing Red Mother.
Yep.
The end.
There's
Really, you should read it.
Yeah, there's another being, but it's a lot. What's next?
Next is Aliens. I know nothing about aliens.
I mean, honestly, this is a really good book for the people who have a history with, like, Ridley Scott, with, old 80s awesome movies. This one is Aliens... Resistance. And just because we're talking about aliens right now, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. There is a new series currently going on right now. It's only going to be a few books, but this is Alien, the original screenplay. And they do release these. There's an original screenplay for Alien 3 already on our website that you can get, but they're doing this for the very first movie. It's Aliens, man. It's Ridley Scott's best work. The creature, the monster, the best thing. My husband's first crush was Sigourney Weaver. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
It's amazing. We have a lot of alien stuff in our house. This is a gorgeous statue.
I was about to say, that's not an alien.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like you had an alien on the table when I got here.
I might have moved
Then it got moved,
Oh,
so-
yeah, we moved this one because this is a statue you can't get anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, Cthulhu's behind you now. And then, yeah, I have a lot of
She's
stuff.
spookified.
That's spookified.
And you can't even really see it. But
No,
it's
you
okay.
really can't.
That's
I mean,
okay.
I could take it down, but it is heavy. It's nice.
No, I just meant like the whole like.
Oh, my whole
like,
spider webs and everything. Oh, and I have a face hugger up there.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's cool. But yeah, it's a classic. Anything alien, you just can't go wrong, honestly. If you want to go back and do that.
Next is one that neither one of us have yet read yet, but we both she bought it, and I intend on buying it. It's called Animosity. I think it's done. I don't really know if it's still going.
I think there's an after book. There's a new series that's called Animosity Something Else.
There's a couple of them,
Yeah.
but this one was ongoing at the same time as that one. That one's Animosity Evolution.
That's it.
It takes
Evolution.
place, I think it's different characters in the world at the same time, but at a different time.
Yeah.
And it's just a different story with different characters in the same universe. Anyway, so this, I'm going to read the back. Because like I said, neither one of us has read it, so it's just speculation on if it's amazing, but it looks amazing.
I looked through it. It looks good.
So, one day, for no reason, the animals wake up. They started thinking. They started talking. They started taking revenge. Collecting the first 4 issues of the best-selling Hebla, 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 Nobody Cares.
This is my kind of book.
The world is plunged into chaos as the newly intelligent animals fight humanity and each other for their own lives, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. In the midst of the turmoil is Jessie, an 11-year-old girl, and her dog Sandor, who is devoted to Jessie and her safety.
He did say he loved her when
He
we looked
did.
at that page.
So the very first, we just looked at it in the very first couple pages, the animals get...
It's their awakening,
Yeah.
I guess.
So, the first 3 pages is the exact same thing over and over again, so you can see their reactions. And I gotta mention the polar bear, because the polar bear is here, and he's like, "Rawr, I'm gonna eat this seal because that's what polar bears do."
Chomp.
And then he takes a chomp out of it, and he's like, "Wait, I can think." And then you turn the page. Oh, not that one. And he's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Because he just killed the seal, and he's like, "Why would I do that?"
My favorite's the panda bears being like, "Why'd you keep us alive for so long?" Nature.
Oh my God. I didn't even look at that one. The hamster. That's after she wakes up, but she just continues doing it. So you know how hamsters eat their babies? The hamsters, they're eating the babies, and the babies are just like, meh. And then it wakes up and it's like, you know, they all make some face of, oh,
like,
I can think now. And then she just continues doing it. She continues eating the babies, and the babies are like, oh my God, run! She's evil!
Goes to say, proof and point, hamsters are evil. I love you guys. I'm just kidding. I have friends with hamsters. Guinea pigs? I'm a terrible person.
Gerbils eat each other too.
Rodents tend to do that.
So, yes, you should read Animosity, and honestly, I'm probably going to get it, and we're probably going to read it, and it's probably going to be one of the books in our series.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
I
mean, that was horrible, but it was funny. Eve of Extinction.
Yay!
So, another one we both bought that she's read, and I haven't got the chance to read it yet.
From TKO Studios. Is it Studios or is it just TKO?
TKO,
I think it's TKO
Studios.
Yep. Lots of really good titles from TKO. I will tell you that. This is a single book, Eve of Extinction. We have it in the Clarksville store.
Yes.
This would be an awesome movie. I feel like this would be a great movie. It's basically the story of this girl who is going to have to survive. You open to her with her dad and her dad's new wife. And then her mother is in the picture, only visiting because her mother's kind of a screw up. But you have that already built-in drama of like the family dynamic. And then this hurricane keeps getting talked about on the radio and the news. And it comes in and the rain turns men into monsters. So very
like literal monsters.
Like literal monsters. Like crazy deformed, blendy, like some of them eat each other and become a bigger mass kind of monsters. It's crazy, and it's them surviving. Again, I think this would be an awesome movie, and I'm going to go ahead and say it was my idea. If it ever does happen, thank you. I need my cut. So that's a really good one. And then our
next
last...
day, it's in production. Before
Right?
a video goes out, and it's like...
I feel like that would be it. I think the last, like, good trade that we have is Death Vigil.
There's more good trades. These are the ones.
This is the one I just had in my house because I'm extra.
Yeah.
This one is really beautiful, and if you look at the cover, it's from Image Comics, and you can see it's got Stepan Sajic art on it.
Yes.
We love Stepan Sajic. He did a run.
And his wife. Her
and
wife is
she's
also
amazing too. She's the one who does webtoon. She has webtoon comics,
Yeah,
right?
she has the webtoon Plunderworld. We talked
Yes.
about that last in a video we'd have already done.
Whatever, passed.
Yeah.
But Stepan Sajic is amazing. He did Harleen. If you guys are trying to think of some of his, he did Run of Aquaman. He did Harleen.
He has his own series, Sunstone.
Yes.
This is another one of his own series.
His own series. It's an amazing, beautiful piece of work. It's really cool. You want to do a quick read of the back?
Yes. I was gonna slightly spoil for myself just to see if this is the end. I just want to see if it's the end. I don't want to spoil it. I just want to know.
Man.
It looks like the end. It ends with them taking a picture. So that seems pretty endish. Okay. It's been a mixed bag for Clara Jenkins. Clara Jenkins. That sounds like a very,
I like that name.
I don't know. Bad
It's very
news.
sudden.
Her boyfriend turned out to be a necromancer, determined to sacrifice her in order to bring a primordial monster into the mortal plane.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Right? That's why I just got married and didn't want to deal with it anymore.
Done and done.
Right? Good news. She just joined up with the Death Vigil, a group of immortal death knights led by Bernadette the Reaper, dedicated to wiping out necromancers once and for all, joined by Gruff Sam, Geeky
Everyone
James.
needs a Sam.
I have a Sam, so I'm good.
Yeah.
You don't have a Sam, but you are the Sam.
I am the Sam, so my life is just ultimately awesome.
Geeky James and the mystical raven to T-Rex. Oh, the raven is the T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
So I opened it earlier and there was this big white T-Rex and I was like, that's so cool. Maybe it's that guy with that white hair.
It's an albino raven.
It's a raven.
I need one of those.
Me too. His name is Hugin. Or Hugin. I'm going to go with Hugin.
I like Hugin.
Clara and the rest of the Vigil battle. What? Battle. Okay, I was reading it in the wrong
verb.
Yeah.
It's a verb.
Yeah. And Clara and the rest of the Vigil battle to keep humanity safe from the eldritch monstrosities that make up the mythical Plane Court.
Eldritch! Like horror! That's why! It's
Fantasy,
beautiful.
horror, and slapstick absurdity collide in another smash hit from writer/artist Stefan Sajic. And also, we apologize if we're saying your name horribly wrong. Because
Truth.
it's not spelled like normal Stefan. It's Stjepan. So that doesn't look like Stefan. But we
And you
say
have
Stefan.
fangs in, so...
I do. That's why I messed up so bad earlier.
You're like,
It's like, I already can't talk, and now I have these fangs in that make everything sound lispy. Lispy. It makes it so I don't whistle when I say S's. Normally I do, so.
But yeah, that is a gorgeous book. Yes. I love it.
So those are the trades that we have for you. Next on our list is the single issues.
Clear.
Mercy. Okay, so as you can see, we've cleared our space
For more!
for more of single issues. We've talked about Mercy many times. We won't go into too much detail with it. It's Mercy. It's by Mirka Andolfo. You should read it.
Yes.
It's a horror. It's done now. The trade will be out, I think, December.
It's coming!
Just looked it up the other day. I think it's December. It's Mercy.
It is, like she said, by Mirka Andolfo, another one of our very favorites. You will be, if not already watched it or soon to be watching it, we did a
One
video.
for Unnatural. Yes.
Yeah, we did a video on Unnatural. That is definitely an after hours video.
Yes.
We love her art. She has done some covers for some recent stuff.
She has been doing covers recently.
A lot,
which is
and I
really
think
cool.
it's because Mercy just ended. We just had the last book of Mercy in the last couple weeks. Again, this airs when it airs. You guys just understand time is a construct, and we don't care.
Yeah. We're starting to just not.
Yeah.
If we say it came out last week, that could mean it came out 6 months ago. Who knows?
We don't have, timely
It just depends
things.
on when I get in the mood to edit these videos.
You love us.
But this
Fine.
will be out this month, so
Yes, it has to. Or
it
else
has
won't
to,
work.
or it won't come out at all. So if you're seeing this, I did my job.
Yes. It has another one of that feel of very Victorian steampunky kind of Lady Mechanica kind of thing. Not as steampunky, it's just more Victorian. But it has that really pretty high-necked, whimsical boobies. Anyways.
High-necked boobies.
It happens. All right, so this is a recent one from Scout Comics, if you want to hold on. This is very simple art. It eats what feeds it. I really like this book.
So is it going to eat her? Because she looks like she might be feeding it.
Oh, she's the it.
Oh.
Trust. It's great. So it's basically this story about this young man who is trying to just find his own way. And he's out of college, very young, kind of chill dude. Gets an ad to go work for this lovely, lovely lady in this big old empty house who has
so far sounds just like the thing for Bloodlines, but that's a different series.
very similar. She is very weak and frail and lovely and pale, and she's very I need your assistance. Help me carry things and do the yard work. And she just walks around her house in a sheer robe and high heels.
Oh, is that what the red is?
Yeah, I mean, also the red represents some death because, there's nobody else on the grounds, and there is a giant meat freezer in the kitchen full of body parts, so we don't know. It's wild.
And
it's
it eats what feeds it.
It eats what feeds it.
So
So
does
this
it
is
eat
a
him?
cool one. No, not so far.
Well,
He's
that's
doing great.
stupid.
You're mean. You're he should be dead.
If he's feeding it, which it didn't never say that.
But it's got a very whimsical drawing style. It's very light lines and very kind of it almost reminds me of Over the Garden Wall.
Okay.
Which is, like, really weird because this is very horrific, but it's great.
I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that.
Who?
That was weird. I'm gonna go ahead and just assume that 99.9% of these books that we're showing you are married and mature.
Yeah, I would go ahead and say that was a safe assumption.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be cute, but my wig is being weird. Yeah, I'm cute anyway. It's fine. I'm like hairline up here.
I'm just trying to be like, look, I have little things in that are so small you probably can't see them on camera.
So this is another one of those things we were talking about with the Halloween effort. We tried. Oh man, that is amazing and beautiful typed. Okay, this is an Image comic. Stillwater, brand new. Only one comic out. If you want to subscribe to it, it'd be easy to do.
I think number 2 just came out.
Number 2 just came out? I don't have it. Then you didn't pull it for me.
Ma'am.
Either way, Stillwater. It's a town. People never die.
Maybe
even
it's
after
about
they
to come
die.
out.
I think it's about to come out.
I don't know.
People never die even after they die. It's lots of rotting corpses and new people and the reasons why and behind it. It's very, very good. The art is awesome. You see the front? Just get it. It's great. I only speed up because we have more. So then we have Sleeping Beauties. I got the pretty
Not like
covers.
any of us has anywhere to go. I mean, you're already home.
Girl, you're right. You're right. So we got Sleeping Beauties here. So this is actually a really neat book. It's from Stephen King and Owen King, better known as Joe Hill.
Yeah.
This is his actual name. Joe Hill is his pen name. But this is about a sleeping sickness that affects only the women. And then this one woman comes along and it doesn't really affect her. And some crazy shenanigans start happening. I could probably put it in a much more eloquent, beautiful, eerie kind of way because if you see these covers, it's eloquent and eerie and beautiful. But I'm not Stephen King and I'm not Joe Hill.
Well, I'll say that obviously by the name of it, you can tell that it's a retelling of Sleeping Beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So
has that allusions to it.
Well, so when I say retelling, I just mean like the idea was originally came from.
It's a play on that
Sleeping
idea.
Beauty.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So there's probably absolutely nothing similar at all like that in here, other than probably like 1 or 2 little concepts, but
the big comatose women thing is the thing.
That's
But yeah, I like this book. I like it's really pretty. And Stephen King and Owen King, they don't mess things up. The next book we have is actually by Owen King / Joe Hill. Because you know he'd be doing the Hill House comics. Now I have a whole stack of these. I'm not gonna show, I might show every single one. I don't care. So Plunge is from the Black Label. DC's Black Label. Joe Hill presents Hill House Comics Plunge. This has a very like 1980s The Abyss, The Thing kind of feel. It's a lot like what Nashville shared the other day, The Wake. Not in storyline so much as it is in just that kind of like survival horror kind of thing. And this marine biologist goes to this shipwreck with a bunch of wreckers who are supposed to go here. Yeah, that one's my favorite cover.
I'm just making comments.
I love that cover. You're going to put like words on the screen. I love that cover. That was the cover that made me get every variant cover for this.
Yeah, I've noticed. I'm like, it's the same book.
I just keep getting variants because they're horrific. I have one hanging on my wall.
Do you have number 5 in your hand? Because
I have number 1. Oh, number 5's hanging on my wall.
Okay. I was about to say, because number 5 is not here.
So I buy the display cases and I put up pretty covers in my house because it got expensive to buy CGC ingredient comics after a while. But it's a really awesome book and there's a lot of like horror that happens to these guys that ended up on this wreck ship, and it supposedly is an old ship. No one should be alive, but they find the crew, and the crew has this insanely weird ability to do like quantum mechanics and quantum math in their heads, but they also lose a lot of human characteristics. So it's wild. I really love it. It very does much remind me of the thing. Back. Yes.
I was gonna.
You know I'm gonna like put all these back in a really.
I'm putting them back in the correct order.
I'm gonna be weirdly obsessive about this when I put everything back into my boxes. Oh,
Yeah, the other ones aren't in order, but this one has a lot, so I'm putting it back.
You're like, they're gonna be beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Now's the time.
At last, I've waited so long for this moment.
I love it. I have waited for this moment. Disaster Inc. This book, I think, has 4 or 5 out. We just actually, in the last month, because we're going to pretend like this is within 30 days. Yeah. The most recent book just came out for this. This is about, if you've ever seen the documentaries about people who do dark tourism, when they go to places they really shouldn't go, or that have a history of like death and tragedy or murder, like Chernobyl, or the war sites in, where did Brandon say?
I don't remember.
There's another place. But like there's places where people have been slaughtered in South America, and they take you there, and they take you on these journeys and take you through these places that people really shouldn't be going. This is Fukushima. Yes, that Fukushima. They go, it's about a lady who works for this company, Disaster Inc., I believe is the company. And the guy she is working for is real shady, but they're doing what they gotta do. And they cater to very, very rich people who want to go to these places. They are not allowed to go. In the exclusion zone, they're supposed to not go in at all. But the tragedy that has happened in Fukushima with the nuclear blast and all of the, contaminated land and everything has also kind of woken up the spirits of the ancient beings who lived near that area. It has a really big history in the Edo period of Japan of having a lot of death and wars between the different samurai of different houses, which is real fact.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cool, and I like this book. It's really wild.
Yeah. I haven't read it, but when you were telling me about it earlier before we started the video, I was like, that sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to read it now.
It's pretty awesome.
Not that I don't have like 16,000 other things I have to read, because I keep buying things. And
just do what I do. You just buy them, put them in boxes, and then when you get a day off.
They're all on some of them are on my bookshelf. Some of them are just on the table in my living room.
It just happens. It happens. I have a previews book on my table because I don't need to be buying anymore. So, next book, IDW. This is Wellington.
Yeah, and I think it just ended, maybe?
I think it did too. I think there are only 5 books. He didn't do a very extended thing. So this is from a young man named Aaron Mahnke. Aaron Mahnke came up with the idea of this. He has a podcast called Lore. Oh, that is another really awesome thing you should check out during this poopy season. Lore, Cabinet of Curiosities, and his other one. You'll find it. He has a lot. Deep dives into mysticism, into ghost stories, into just classic, really cool horror stories. This is about this man right here. He's an old retired general, I think. And he is also an investigator of the paranormal, and it's his stories and his encounters. And it's told like a really just good old fashioned like ghost story. So this is by, like I said before, Aaron Mahnke. Good storytelling.
Yeah.
Just really good storytelling.
And Sammy, I don't know if you've caught it in our videos, but Sammy's been talking about this book like ever since it first started coming out.
Yeah.
Like a lot. So you should probably read it because it's really good because she's been talking about it nonstop.
You're like, Sammy doesn't shut up about things she loves. So if she's talked about it more than twice and you've heard it, I don't know why you haven't read it yet.
Basically. I mean, unless that's just not your type of book. But
totally fair. But you're wrong. Anyway, so here's the next one. I actually talked about this one in a video we did in the past for a new comic book release day. If you can find it, hearts. Good job on you. Yeah. Sweetheart. This is a really, really cool book. It's generational trauma, monsters. She is a BA. It starts with the story of her father, which is only one book because you get to the gist of it. But this town is plagued by different types. You get to hold that because I like to talk with my hands.
Okay.
This town is plagued by different types of monsters. There are several types that are so fast. The way they choose people is different. And this town has just kind of come to terms with it. And if you get picked, it's very a familial thing. So if your father died because of a certain type of monster, the likelihood that you will be targeted by that monster after your father is gone goes up exponentially, or your mother, or whoever. But they like to stick with certain families. And you drink shakes to keep them at bay, and they just stay away. Well, this young lady is not having it. She is over that. And her particular family's monster that, no spoilers, it's the very beginning, that attacks her father and chooses her father, is one of the worst kind. So this is actually really fast-paced. I love the way it felt when I was reading it. The night we talked about the very first issue, I read it in like no time. And then I was like, I need to talk about this. So if you love like dark, kind of suspenseful, monster horror that is very secluded, it's not like all over the place, like even Extinction, where it's like the whole city and the town and her school and all these things. This is just this girl's struggles for survival in her family and in her town. So that's really cool. And we got, oh, how perfect am I?
Right? You picked out
9 each.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So this last one, again, just had another issue. We're up to 5. I tend to love these like 5-6 book runs, but this is Rogue Planet, and it is from, who is this from? I'm trying to see if they have it. Oh, it's Oni Press. Oni Press. Dude, you guys are sleeping on Oni Press. They got some good ones. But this one is Rogue Planet, and it's about, it's very like cosmic body horror, monsters, and, have you ever watched Event Horizon? That's kind of where you're going with this. It's very kind of mind-bendy, awful graphic horror, space, getting out there and like dealing with the crazies because you're in space and trying to survive. And it's, I mean, just look at the covers. There's tentacles and spacesuits and awesomeness. You can't go wrong with that. But these are just the ones that came out of my box.
Yeah, these are just ones that Sammy has. So just
Yeah.
imagine going to the store. There's one that you read.
Oh, yes.
Flinch.
Flinch. Yes, it's on our wall. It's on our horror wall, our October spoopy picks. And a lot of these Junji Ito books are too.
Yeah.
It is short stories collected. This volume probably has about 8 or 9 short stories because each section had 2 or 3 in each comic. They're a few pages each. Yes.
I'm showing it right now.
And there's more than one volume too. I just read the first volume of Flinch. The cover is just kind of ghastly and horrific, and that's why I was like, oh, I gotta read
it's
it.
got like a guy in a medical suit, and he's got his eyeball, and he's like
Ditching
holding it
his
over
face.
far. Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, but it's just a few pages each of every story, all different artists, and they're like, kind of reminds me of like the Twilight Zone or Creep Show, where it just gives you these snippets of quick, like, going through them. Oh, it's just good. It's just good. If you like horror, it's good. You should just get it. That's all I have to say about that. But Junji Ito's books on the sides over here, I wasn't going to pull them down, but we've got Fragments of Horror. I know, I'm wearing her out. Fragments of Horror, Gyo Uzumaki. Uzumaki is the famous one with the spiral.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool. Then we've got this one. What was this one?
That one is No Longer Human.
No Longer Human. That one's a really good one. It's a newer one. And then Tomy. Tomy is hard to get. Yeah. I will tell you that now.
Actually, Tomy and Uzumaki are hard to get.
Yeah, those are 2 of his most famous.
Every time we run out, I have some on order.
Yeah.
So if it's not in the store, I already have it ordered. It'll come whenever we can get it, because...
Honestly, just keep asking. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Because it's worth the wait.
Yeah.
Tomy is messed up and awesome. No Longer Human is really in-depth, and it has a lot of, like, emotion behind it. Fragments of Horror, again, small, shorter stories. And then Gyo has, like, some ancient, like, World War II ruins and fish things and crazy monsters. That it kind of reminds me, what was that Lovecraftian story with the fish people? It's cool. Don't worry about it. We'll find it. And then Uzumaki, of course, is the big spiral one. I mean, just, like, he's classic. You just can't go wrong with him. It's like Aliens or Predator or anything like that.
One that I know Rachel would want us to input in here is Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
It's on the wall!
Ice Cream Man, is I don't know what it's about. I haven't read it. It's not my. I'm clearly you can tell from Sammy talking about all the things and me not. Horror isn't really what I read typically. It's not that I don't like it. It's the horror freaks me out. And
We
I
all have our
nightmares,
jams.
so you know.
It's a thing. You guys come in and you ask us about Superman and Batman or the Flash or Ghost Rider or, Hulk or She-Hulk or anything like that. And, we have our likes and you have your likes. And this just happens to be one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
So.
Mine is more slice of life, romance, fantasy, talking animals, things like that.
I do like
Which is why Animosity. I'm like, I'm going to get that. Like,
she gonna read it.
I'm going to read it. It's been on my read list since I started working here, so I'll get there. I'm trying to think of anything that I've read that's horror, but I'm sitting here.
October Faction is on the wall. It's a Netflix show.
I think George wanted to suggest October Faction.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was supposed to come, but this is what we ended up with.
It's been a day and we're the party. You guys know that. You're happy that we're here.
And if you're not happy, you don't have to watch the video.
That's cool. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yep.
But otherwise, I mean, oh God, we've got, good horror statues. We've got our Cthulhu back here. We got our Batman Who Laughs. There's so much cool stuff.
So it's not anything we have, but there is a new game that's out. It's on Steam. It's called...
This is our show. We can talk about whatever we want.
I know. It's called Phantasma.
Phantasma. Is it Phantasma? I know what you're talking about, yeah.
It's a 4-player online game where you go and you try to figure out what kind of ghost is haunting. And I'm so excited to play it, but I'm so scared to play it because I am, like I said, I don't really do horror because it freaks me out.
We should have a board game night. Oh, what is the game? Betrayal. Me and Owen love Betrayal. Have you ever played Betrayal?
I've never heard of Betrayal.
Okay, so I'm going to make sure the full name of this because I want to be sure. Betrayal at House on the Hill is a board game. Yes, it's a game where you guys all start on the same thing. You're building rooms in this house. And that at a certain point, an event happens and someone turns into the bad guy. And then you have to kill everybody or trap them or do whatever it is your book tells you have to do to win. And everybody has to fight you. And it's awesome. And it's a really fun board game to play. And it's like Monopoly because it takes hours. But that's a good one. If you ever find that or look it up, I think you can get it on Amazon or something like that. But that's a really cool game.
Yeah. So, not things that we carry, but fun things to mention. So, this is what we've got for you.
We have given you horror. There's still more.